Last of the way I pick positions. So right now I have a watch list in Thinkorswim that has several personal watch lists. There is the OA, which is the Options Alpha list that's tracked in their toolbox. And I have down here the yellow line here, which is implied volatility. And I also have plotted historical volatility here and also on the bottom. I've altered this IV tool to have different colors here so it's easier to see, but it's pretty straightforward to edit this file to get different colors in. And basically what I end up doing is I end up overlaying, if I'm on my MacBook Pro, I overlay the Analyze tab and set this red marker to a 1. And in the watch list, I have a 1 here set. And then under charts, I have the 1 here as well. And so as I move through the watch list, all of these will update. What I often do is I end up just scanning through, looking for different positions, and I'm eyeballing the implied volatility line. And just kind of taking a look and seeing if there's something that I find interesting. If we're at a new high. And I found something interesting in American Express, a big jump in implied volatility. And it looks like last time earnings were shot here, we're back here. Now I'm on the paper trading side of things, so I can't trust when earnings are going to come in, but if I look here, I can go 1, 2, 3, and earnings should be dropping right about here where this question mark is. So I'm fairly distant from earnings, and what just happened here in the market, we just had a big pull down, and we're still above the long-term moving average, and we had a bump in implied volatility. So I'm going to kind of take a look at what trading options are available. I'm going to select the December, even though we only have 15 days. I'm just going to eyeball these real quick. Typically what I'll do is I'll take a look around the 80-85% probability that it's out of the money. And you can change these into different, if you go here and click, you can take a look at the Greeks, the delta. If you're looking for delta, you want a delta of about minus 15, 14 or 15. So, but generally I use a customized view that involves implied volatility, out of the money, and I guess I have delta plotted here. So I'm looking for kind of an 82. I like the 82 number, but typically you want to be about 85. So I'm just going to kind of play around and see what I can get. So I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking that we'll see if an iron condor will work for this position. So I will click on the bid to get the initial sell of this side, and then I will look at the range, and basically at the strike prices I'm willing to go typically $5 either direction. As I look at the $5, there isn't a lot of, oh, we don't have open interest here. Let's switch this to open interest. Open interest, here we go. So let's look at that again. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We don't have a lot of open interest here. We don't have a lot of open interest with the one above either. So we may not get filled here, but we can certainly take a look and try to set this up. So holding the control key down and pressing on the ask sign is going to give us a buy. Then we'll go look at the other side for an iron condor. Once again, taking a look at about the 82%. Here we go. And we'll go to the 97. And yeah, even less open interest here. And then now typically what I'll do is I'll hit the confirm and send, and I will take a look at how this sets up. Max profit of 800 on a total risk of 4,200. So what I'm really seeing here is maybe a 20% margin in this. If you were to calculate 800 into 4,200 or 800 into 4,200, you'd have about roughly 20%. So let's just do the math here. 800 divided by 4,200. Just about 19%, about 20. And the way I'm doing that is I'm just I'm moving the decimal over and then seeing how many times the remainder with one decimal moved over, it divides into 800. And that'll give me my percentage. And it's about 2, just under 2, so about 20%. That's not quite enough. We want to have like 30% when we're setting up these kind of positions. So let's take a look at a little bit further out. So let's go look at the Jan 18 in 2019. And let's see what we have here. So we don't have an 80%er, we have a 92. So this is going to be a little bit tight. This is going to be taking on a little more risk. We want each side of these cell legs to be near the 85% to get our 30% out of the money on both sides. But let's just take a look and see what this sets up as. So I'll do once again $5 strike. Now this time our strikes are $5 wide. And now we'll go to this side. Same thing, we're not quite at 85, but that's pretty close. We'll do another $5. Notice we have $2.50 sites here, so we'll come back to the $5 here. Once again, holding the control key down to get the position built up. I can hit confirm and send, and now let's see what we got. We've got $1,100 in a max profit. If we move the decimal point over, 38.90, so that's almost 400. That's not quite 1,200, so that's probably what, 25% maybe. 2890 or 1110 divided by 3890. 28%. That's pretty close. That's pretty close to what we want. A 30%er. Now let's take a look at what the Analyze tab tells us. Right-clicking inside the trade, you can hit Analyze. And now we'll get kind of the brackets here of where the green line is your at expiration profit, and the blue or the purple line here is the current profitability, and this little horizontal line is current price. This is something I like to do. I like to go over to set slices, break even, and then choose the month or the expiration date. Now it's going to set these slices to the break even at expiration. Then I come back over, hit slices to chart, and I hit the first position here, and that's going to place these lines on the chart for me, and I can see kind of a wide, how wide my margin of victory is going to be. I got to remember I've got to go all the way out to here. So if I can kind of imagine how this is going to flow on a normal orderly spot, we can see that it might stay within. We're not trading directionally here at this point, but if we wanted to, we could, if we thought this was going to go lower rather than higher, we could bias our Condor by moving this line down and this line further out by selecting different strikes when building this Condor. At this point, we're sitting right at the middle here. Do I want to enter this trade? That's the question. Do we think it's a good trade to enter into? This is an all-time high, so the chances of us hitting this all-time high again are probably pretty limited. I know that I think things are going to kind of play. The Fed is, some of the fundamentals. We've got trade issues. We've got the Federal Reserve becoming a little more hawkish, or dovish, excuse me, rather than being hawkish. So that indicates that interest rates are going to be pulling back. That certainly will affect a banking company like American Express. So, who knows? But I'm willing to take a shot on this one. I'm going to take a look at my risk that I've got on here. Let's go back over to our Analyze tab, and at the very bottom we'll see our total margin. I really don't want that much. In this account, I have currently liquidating, my option buying power is 88,000. I'm at 100,000, 105,000 liquidated, fully liquidated, and I currently have 18,000 in my account. So I think at this point, our rule of no one single position should be greater than 5%. So 5% would be roughly 5,000. And I like to ladder into my trades. So I'm going to bring this back and maybe let's go for 2 contracts. And that'll give us a full margin of 100 and a possible win here at 250 or something like that. 211, 222, maybe. Is that what the? Can't quite see what that is. Yeah, 222. So when we're ready to do this, one tip I like to make sure I follow is not hit confirm and send here, because this is set up on the initial. What I really need to do is I need to right click inside this new Analyze tab and then hit confirm and send. And that should go. Now I'm not trading during hours, so I can hit monitor activity and positions, and now I have a position open here. Now notice I have this set for a day trade, or I mean a day expiration time till basically time until it's canceled. I normally want to do this good till close or good till canceled. So I'm going to, depending on if I want it to get into it, I may keep this open just in case, or I might want to close it out during the day. In this case, we'll see if we get lucky and we'll keep it on. So rather than having the order automatically cancel after the end of the next day, I'm going to cancel that and just turn this to good till canceled. And now when I come back into our trade position, we'll find that we have one working order, good till canceled, and our status, our 111 credit limit. The second thing I like, there's many things that I do. Now I'm going to use this time function in the drawing tools, and it's this guy right here. And I'm going to go basically to today's date, which is 12/6. Actually, this will be on 12/7. And I'm going to draw a little line here. And I can just put it right here. And what I'll do is I'll edit this property, and I'll call this open iron condor. And what was our price here? 111. So 1.11. And this gives me, and now the way I've got this set up is this line has the following properties. It has downward extension on. it has it automatically sets the value, and then I've set these colors and this style to something that's just preferable to me. And then I track how much I opened into the price or opened into the position. And if I'm going to do a ladder or something else, I will indicate that. And then you can, if you hold the command key down and click again on it, you can then activate drawing. And let's say grab this guy and move the text above if you want. Activate drawing. I usually like it above the text, above the chart. And I haven't really set up anything for drawing how long it is. I just, in my mind, know that it's going to go to the January expiration. So that's how I kind of complete a position. Now, in terms of closing something out, one thing you might want to take a look at when you're doing it is from your monitored account summary. I usually have a couple different groups here. So I set by positions by group, and this group is the problem ones. These are the ones that are having issues. Actually, I call it issues subtotal. And then the ones below that are all the positions that are basically not problems, or I don't deem them as problems. And if I was going to go close out a position, let's say Conical Phillips, I probably have an order already open for this guy, COP. Let's take a look. I'm going to just right click, send COP to red. Now I'll see my graph down here. I go to the trade window, and also if I go to monitor activity, I will see if I have any COP. And let's see, working orders. One working order. Doesn't look like I have any COP running. But let's say we wanted to put something on for COP. Looks like if I go back to account statement, COP, ConocoPhillips, is an iron condor, so we want to take profits at 50%. So let's see if we've tracked this. We have, I put it in at 69 cents is what the order went in on. If I want to verify that, I go back to monitor and account statement, go back up to trade history. Should be able to also find the 69 inside my trade history. It's really nice to set this this symbol link to the chart you're looking at, or the symbol you're looking at. Everything just gets synced right up. So this guy's at 69. And so we'll go and put an order out to close it out. Let's see here. No, this one's trade history. How do I have two of these different ones here? I've got one at 68, got one at 69. That's really interesting. Let's see, what is my total position here? Let's look down in the bottom. Quantity 6. That's really interesting. I'm not exactly sure which one of these. This looks like some kind of bug in this program. COP 757560. Maybe I got it improved. Maybe this is my order. You know what? I bet you this is my order when it went in. And maybe I got price improvement here. I got price improved by 1 penny to 69. All right, well, we're in at 69. So let's close this out at 50%. So we're going to come in, and there's a couple different ways to do that. You can hit your trade window, and it'll bring up the position that you have currently. in. You can also see that position inside the Analyze tab. So basically what I do is I click the first one, hold the Shift key down, end up with the whole position, right click, create closing order, buy Iron Condor, blah, 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 at 44. This is the current market, so 44 is where we're at now. And if I'm going to go to 69, I want something like 37, no, 34, 35, maybe. So we can knock this down. Let's say we'll take 35. So 35 would be a little bit more than 50%. Let's do 30. Oh no, 30. Yeah, 35 would be a little more. 34 would be a little more. So let's go with 35. And then we'll change this to good till canceled, confirm and send, send. And now when we go back to our monitor, we should now have an order to close out and pick up a debit. So we sold it for 68. We actually collected 69 cents per contract. We're going to sell it back for 35. We'll net almost 50% on that. So that's it. Kind of trading 101, I guess. Let me know if you have any questions. See if I can stop this now.